Israel has shown itself again and again, in particular over the past 2 years, to be a rogue state. I believe it's high time that the international community shows Israel that it is being held to account for its ongoing war crimes and crimes against humanity, and for thumbing its nose at the authority of the United Nations as an organization. Really, the only legitimate way at this point to do this is to expel Israel from the organization. Now, there is a provision for expelling a member in the UN Charter. However, that requires a vote by the Security Council, and it's kind of difficult to see that happening, of course, at this point in time, with the United States always protecting Israel. But there is a way around it, around that, and that's what the member states of the UN did in the case of apartheid South Africa in the 1970s.
What the General Assembly then did was to use a procedure called refusing to recognize the credentials of apartheid South Africa. So they weren't expelling them, because that power only rests with the Security Council. They were simply refusing to recognize their credentials, which meant that apartheid South Africa could not sit during the proceedings of the General Assembly, and that actually then continued for the next 20 years with South Africa outside of the General Assembly until after the first multiracial elections in South Africa in April and May of 1994. I suspect you're going to see stronger resolutions proposed, debated, and adopted by the General Assembly this year that will call for specific international steps to match Israel's defiance with respect to this. And if it then turns out that this time next year, the occupation continues, indeed the occupation deepens, then I think we're at a fracture point for the United Nations. And the UN General Assembly, likely with support of almost all of the global South, will probably then make a proposal to refuse Israel's credentials.